Welcome to AI Brief, episode 164.
Great to be here for another deep dive.
We've got quite a stack of updates today, covering some really big shifts in the AI landscape.
We do. Our goal, as always, is to break it all down for you, get you the essential insights, fast and clear.
Think of it as your shortcut, yeah.
Exactly. So today, we're hitting a major Google Gemini update, specialized AI for government use, which is fascinating.
And that healthcare application, the heart condition predictor.
Yeah, that one's pretty surprising. Plus, new text-to-speech tech, big funding news for AI coding tools, and then a quick run through other key developments and trending tools you should know about.
Okay, let's get into it. Where do we start?
Let's start with Google. They've been moving incredibly fast. Just weeks after their big I/O conference, they've dropped a preview update for Gemini 2.5 Pro.
Wow, okay, weeks. They're calling it their most intelligent model yet. That's ambitious.
It is. And the early signs, based on benchmarks, show some pretty notable jumps. We're talking coding, STEM problem-solving, reasoning, that kind of thing. Image understanding, too.
Okay, so hard metrics are up. Is it showing up in user preference, too, like those leaderboards?
Yeah, it seems to be extending its lead on places like Elmarina and WebDev Arena. Those are where, real users test and compare models, so it's a strong signal.
That's interesting because I remember hearing some feedback after the last update that maybe non-coding stuff like creative writing had slipped a bit.
That's right. And the report specifically mentioned that feedback has been addressed in this update. So they seem to be responding quickly.
Good to hear. Any new tools for developers alongside this performance boost?
Yes, they've added some new API features.
Yeah.
One interesting one is called thinking budgets.
Thinking budgets. What does that actually mean for a developer?
It's basically a way to set limits on the computational effort the model uses for a query. So you can better manage costs and, importantly, latency, how fast you get a response.
Ah, okay. So more control over the trade-offs. Makes sense. And where can people, get their hands on this preview?
Developers can access it via the Gemini API, that's in AI Studio, and Vertex AI. But crucially, Google's also deployed it to the public Gemini app.
So many of us might already be using these upgrades without even realizing it.
Quite possibly, yeah.
What's the takeaway here? Why push this out so fast after I/O?
I think it signals a potential shift in release strategy. Instead of these massive, infrequent model drops, maybe we're moving towards more frequent preview updates, smaller steps, but faster iteration, keeping the quality improvements flowing. Google trying to stay ahead.
Interesting dynamic. Okay, let's shift gears. You mentioned specialized AI for government. Anthropic's involved here.
That's right. Anthropic has unveiled something called Claude Gov. And this isn't your standard Claude model.
Gov, so specifically for government agencies.
Exactly. It's designed exclusively for U.S. defense and intelligence agencies.
Exclusively? What makes it different? Why do they need a separate version?
It comes down to specialized safety guardrails and, enhanced abilities to handle classified information securely. The requirements are just fundamentally different.
Right, you can imagine. Is this just a plan, or is it actually being used now?
No. Reports say it's already deployed.
Yeah.
It's being used at the highest levels of U.S. national security, specifically for people working with classified data.
Okay. And what can it do better in that context? What capabilities were enhanced?
They're highlighting things like much lower refusal rates when dealing with classified documents compared to standard models, better understanding of defense-specific language and intelligence stocks, plus specific boosts for things like foreign language analysis and spotting cybersecurity patterns.
That sounds like really deep integration. How does Anthropic square this with their usual focus on, AI safety?
That's the tricky balance, isn't it? They've essentially created specific exemptions in their policies for these government contracts. But, and this is key, they still maintain core restrictions. So no using it for weapon design or generating disinformation or malicious cyber stuff.
So it's a careful line they're walking.
Absolutely. It shows AI getting really embedded in these critical government functions. It's a big commercial opportunity for AI labs, but it comes with these unique safety considerations. Very complex.
Definitely something to watch. Okay, let's pivot completely. That healthcare story. An AI foot scanner predicting heart failure. Tell me about that.
Yeah, this was pretty wild. It's an AI-powered scanner, wall-mounted, from a Cambridge startup, Heartfelt Technologies.
Wall-mounted. For your feet, what's it looking for?
It monitors ankle swelling, captures something like 1,800 images a minute to precisely measure fluid accumulation edema.
And that fluid buildup is a sign of...
It's often an early warning sign of worsening heart conditions, sometimes appearing weeks before more serious symptoms.
Okay, so the AI detects this swelling. How well did it actually predict problems and trials?
The results were striking. In trials across 5 NHS trusts in the UK, with 26 patients, it predicted 5 out of the 6 hospitalizations for heart issues.
5 out of 6? That's impressive. How much warning did it give?
That's the kicker. The average warning time was 13 days.
13 days before needing hospitalization. That's incredible. Think of the interventions that enables.
Exactly. And it's designed for home use, operates automatically. The patient doesn't really need to do anything specific. Seems user-friendly too. Over 80% of trial participants wanted to keep it afterwards.
Wow. So this really points towards a future of like proactive, non-invasive monitoring at home, doesn't it?
It's a prime example, yeah. Catching problems early, potentially avoiding hospital stays, giving people more control. It's a big deal for preventative care.
Okay, shifting from health to creativity, ElevenLabs and text-to-speech. What's new there?
They've just launched 11v3. They're billing it as the most expressive text-to-speech model ever.
Most expressive. How are they making it more nuanced?
Well, first, it supports over 70 languages now. Big expansion. But the really cool part is the control. You can insert tags directly into the text.
Tags like what?
Like laughing, whispers, dramatic, sighs, things like that. So you can tell the AI exactly how to deliver a line, adding emotion or specific tone.
Oh, okay. That's much more than just reading text. That gives creators, podcasters, audiobook producers way more control.
Totally. Makes the output sound much more natural, much more human. The demos are apparently pretty mind-blowing.
Definitely want to check out. Okay, let's talk money and speed. Big funding news for Anysphere, the company behind Cursor.
Huge news. Anysphere, the startup that makes the AI coding assistant Cursor, just officially closed a $900 million funding round.
$900 million. For a coding assistant tool, what valuation does that put them at?
Get this, $9.9 billion.
Wow. That's enormous. How fast have they grown?
That's the other stunning part. The company's only 3 years old, and they're reportedly at $500 million in annualized revenue already. That makes them one of the fastest growing startups ever.
Incredible pace. And didn't they just launch a big update to Cursor itself?
Perfect timing, right. Yeah, they just released Cursor v1.0, calling it the biggest overhaul yet. Lots of new features.
Okay, like what? What are developers getting with this new version?
Several key things. There's a BugBot that quickly checks code for mistakes and leaves comments. A memories feature, which helps Cursor remember past conversations, project details, specific rules you've set, makes it more context-aware over time.
Ah, so it learns your project better. That's useful.
Definitely. They also added MCP support, makes it easier to connect Cursor with other third-party developer tools with just one click. And background agents are now available for everyone.
Background agents, what do they do?
These can handle longer tasks, like complex coding or research, independently in the background. You can even assign them new tasks just by tagging them in Slack or somewhere similar.
Okay, that sounds like it moves beyond just a Q&A assistant to more of an active collaborator, remembering context, doing longer tasks.
Exactly. It feels like a step towards a more integrated AI development partner. And it seems to be catching on. They claim more than half of Fortune 500 companies are using Cursor somehow.
That's serious enterprise adoption already, a real potential game changer for developers then.
Seems like it, yeah.
All right, those are the big headlines. Let's quickly cover some of the other interesting bits and pieces and trending tools popping up. We'll move a bit faster now.
Sounds good. Still lots happening. For instance, Anthropic's CEO wrote an op-ed in the New York Times arguing against that proposed bill restricting state AI regulations. Shows AI leaders weighing in on policy directly.
Right, the policy angle is heating up. What else?
OpenAI reported disrupting 10 malicious operations that were using ChatGPT for bad stuff. Social media manipulation, spying, scams. Said 4 were linked to China.
The cat and mouse game continues. And platform data.
Yeah, Twitter updated its terms to explicitly ban using its content or API for training AI models. Protecting their data asset, basically.
Data is definitely the new oil there. Any new voice AI players?
Bland TTS launched. Another text-to-speech model focusing on realism and control for things like voice cloning, apps, AI customer service bots.
And AI in physical things. You mentioned Volvo.
Yeah, pretty neat. An AI-powered seatbelt that adjusts its protection based on the passenger's size, position, car speed, impact direction. Using AI for customized safety.
Smart. And making financial data easier to access.
Perplexity is adding SEC data that's company filings to its tools. Helps people analyze companies without needing those expensive financial data subscriptions.
Democratizing data access. Nice. Quick Anthropic updates.
Anthropic Pro users now get Claude Code, their coding-focused model. and their projects feature for handling big documents got a 10x capacity boost, which is coming to all paid plans soon.
Okay. And there was some drama with them cutting off another company, Windsurf.
Right. Their co-founder explained it was due to a rumor that OpenAI had acquired Windsurf. Said it felt odd selling Claude to a potential OpenAI subsidiary, so they paused access while investigating. Shows the competitive tension.
Definitely high stakes. And one more huge funding round.
Palmer Luckies and Doril, they do AI, weapons, drones, that kind of thing, raised another $2.5 billion, doubling their valuation to over $30 billion. Huge investment in defense AI.
$30 billion.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, let's wrap with some trending tools you might find useful.
Quick rundown. ChatGPT for Business added meeting recording and data connectors. Mistral Code is getting Buzz as an enterprise coding assistant. ElevenLabs has Modify Video for restyling videos. Suno, the music AI, upgraded its editor with more controls.
Any for personal use or simpler content creation?
Jots is an AI journaling app for goals and skills. VexSub helps create TikTok and YouTube videos. Camille analyzes website performance and UX without you needing technical skills. Kimi Chat is a general productivity assistant, research, coding, creative stuff. And V0.dev helps developers quickly generate UI code from text prompts.
That's a really wide range. Shows how AI is just weaving into everything.
Absolutely, from complex coding and defense tech down to journaling and video editing.
So reflecting on all this, the rapid model upgrades like Gemini, the specialized AI in government and health, these widely available tools.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Considering this pace, how quickly models improve, how AI is entering sensitive sectors, how easy these tools are becoming to use. How might all this reshape our daily lives, our jobs, our industries, maybe even faster than we thought?
It's a powerful question to consider. The acceleration feels very real. Hopefully, this deep dive gave you a clear picture of today's key AI developments.
Yeah, cutting through the noise for you.
If you want to keep up with this fast-moving field, make sure you follow AI Brief wherever you get your deep dives. And please share this with others who want to stay informed.